Hi, I'm Jack, and tonight we're going to talk about freshwater turtles, specifically turtles of the Murray. And there are three species. If there were four, I would have made a Ninja Turtles joke, but unfortunately not. First up, broadshell turtles. They're the biggest of the three, and they're the one I'm going to be talking about for the rest of this presentation. What are the threats? Foxes. The foxes don't eat the turtles, though. They eat the eggs. Until the introduction of foxes, the only egg predator around was the occasional goanna. And they have a very small, and they did and still only have a very small impact on the population of turtles. So the ecosystem just isn't ready for such a big, major egg predator that foxes are. On top of that, baby turtles already had a tiny, tiny expected survival rate. So throwing foxes into the mix is a terrible idea. Speaking of ideas, there are many suggestions on how to get rid of foxes: culling, sterilization, dog-proof fences, and they're all well and good, but Turtles Australia, these guys, has another idea. And I'll talk about that in a second. Turtles Australia monitors the baby turtles, or all the turtles up on the Murray, specifically around Echuca because of limited resources. And they're particularly interested in the nests and the babies. They count the intact and the alive nests containing eggs, and they also count the nests that have been destroyed and raided by foxes. And the numbers are not good. 94% of nests are predated before hatching. Think about that for a second. That means that in a given year, only 6% of the population is even born. That's crazy. And when that 6% is born, they don't know which way the river is. They just generally go downhill. And if they don't find water in time, they won't survive. This leads to further population loss. The journey to the water takes them across farmland and roads, and it can be over a kilometer. I don't know what these mother turtles are doing laying the nest so far away from the river. All the while, they're dodging crows, kookaburras, kingfishers, foxes, and cats, and etceteras. And even if they get to the water, they're not going to be safe from aquatic predators until they're a decent size. But there is a solution. It's innovative. It's revolutionary. It may well blow your mind. No, it's actually rather lame. It's bricks, boards, and boxes. But what it lacks in glamour, it makes up for in ease and practicality. The locals around the region have realized that if you just dump something heavy on top of the nest, it's protected, right? Game over. Well, not quite, because even though the foxes can't get in, the baby turtles can't get out. So you'd have to remove the protection just in time for that nest to hatch for this to work. So it's more of a temporary measure. But Turtles Australia came up with their nest protection kits. It's just a square of mesh from the local hardware store with a peg in each corner, and they work wonderfully. Foxes don't get in, but baby turtles can get out, as you can see from the hole in the image on the right. And it's a great idea. It even has potential future scope of protecting turtles across more of their range into other states. And you could even, protect more rare or endangered species of turtle. But what are the limitations? Obviously funding and awareness, but also people power. Turtles Australia is a very small organization and it's quite young. And so they rely on school groups, volunteers, and community engagement to get these nests out, to look out for turtles, to look out for foxes, and to particularly patrol during the breeding season. Which brings me to my next point, time. Time is the huge factor here because most of the eggs that are eaten by foxes are eaten the night they are born. There's no time to dilly-dally and protect a nest when you see it. A nest can be laid and then 5 minutes later eaten by a fox. It's not a great situation. So during the breeding season, conservationists, volunteers, and farmers are out there daily, nightly, with the nest protection kits, looking for mama turtles laying a nest. And as I said before, it's a numbers game. We don't have the people power to protect all of the turtles across their range. But for some reason, foxes have the people power to endanger all the turtles across their range. So we are severely outnumbered, but there is hope for the turtles into the future. So with the right people power, funding, and time, there might be hope for the turtles yet. The end. Thank you for listening. I'm trying to stop the recording.